Let me tell you about a case study of a company where simple sleuthing among the employees of the company saved us from embarrassment. The company I will call big tech company, very large tech company that have been very well known, has great seniority, and a big chunk of which was bought recently by a large value investor, famous value investors who once said doesn't understand technology. But he was tempted by the numbers. The numbers very compelling. The company was selling very cheaply. It has a great name. So he went and bought some. One of my analysts told me, why don't we go and take a look at it? And I told her, why don't we? How do we take a look? Well, she learned all the numbers. She got all the blips in the ink, as I call it, did all the analysis. I told her, go ahead and talk to people who work for the company. She said, how do I do that? I said, travel to the town where the company is located in the US and go to all the pubs and the bars and go to see where the people are located. Talk to them. She stayed a few days and came back with a bunch of reports and also with names of newsletters that people in the company used to exchange among each other, talking about nothing privileged, not about new contacts they're going to get, contact lost, or anything else which is illegal to talk to outsiders, just among themselves, mainly how they felt about top management, which is what I was after. And boy, did they ever tell what they thought about top management. In essence, they had a bellyful. The top manager of the company, a woman, came from sales, and even though she was a terrific salesperson, some of the sales she made have been at low margin, could barely make a profit. The connection between R&D, research and development, that makes new product, and salespeople have not been the best. So sales kept shrinking, not by much, but shrinking almost year by year. Employees had a lot of complaints. Top management didn't want to listen. Until one day, the top management, the CEO, said that quite clearly, many people in the company haven't kept up their technical skills. Therefore, about 20% of them are going to get a cut of 10% in salary and stick around until they improve their skills. The morale in the company, as you can imagine, went straight down because the people who stayed around have basically marked as non-performers and less intelligent and less able, and they stank the place with their despair. They, of course, couldn't find another job because they were marked. And the other people in the company who were better, they realized what's coming, how the company is going to do even worse, and they began to float around their CVs, their resumes. So the company began to go down and down. And because the top CEO, who was not foolish, which was really smart, she realized there's a disconnect between research and development and sales. She decided to bring in some of the top R&D, top engineers of Apple to talk to this big tech company's own R&D people. Maybe they can learn something from each other, and Apple could sell some of the big tech company's product. This, of course, offended all the R&D people in this big tech company, and also they realized it's foolish because Apple in the past used to be known for stealing technology from other companies. For example, some of the WYSIWYG, the what you see is what you get on the screen technology, and the mouse was taken from Xerox in Palo Alto, that Xerox couldn't use it. So you are going to bring Apple into these big tech companies. It's like bringing the fox into the hen house. In short, the employees had a belly full of complaints about top management, and they aired them in the newsletters and emails they exchanged among each other. And when they talked to my analyst out there in the pub, they let her know. We looked at all this and we said to ourselves, we aren't buying this sort of thing. And we could have shorted it, but the stock went down only slowly, so the short potential wasn't that high. And in general, I don't like shorting, even though I gave examples before of stocks that went down quite fast, because the short potential is less than the potential for a stock going up. Later on, I'm going to tell you 3 or 4 reasons why. At any rate, we managed to avoid this stock. And later on, this big investor also sold that stock a meager profit because he knew exactly when to sell. And the company still haven't recovered, and I don't think it's ever going to recover by much. Maybe somebody will buy it one day. To sum up, if you want to know about the company, talk to the employees about their bosses. The employees who are not directors or managers or anybody who is high up in the company who has to report to the SEC, they can tell you what the feelings are about top manager. Now, you may say, what's the ability of a mere employee to know the company's strategy, what the company really is doing? I'll give you one answer, and then you'll see what I mean. A former dean of the Stanford Graduate School of Business, who unfortunately only served the dean for a week, before he was tragically killed in a traffic accident, once said, in his company, a large car part company, the best people were not the CEO or the CFO or the VPs. They were not bad. He hired only the best people. He said the best people, as far as management was concerned and overall ability, were the low-level lathe operators, the machine shops, people on the docks, people who did the simple jobs in the company. Why was that? He said they were making about $500 a week. At the time, it was money you could live on, long time ago. And with this money, they can send their kids to school, they can save money for kids for college, they can buy presents for the wife, and they can save money to buy a home, and they can also save money sometimes to buy a fishing rod. He said this kind of management skills don't grow on trees. If you can harness these kind of skills to act in your favor as a company manager, there's no end to what you can do. If you are a sleuth and you talk to people in the company and you ask them what they really think, most of them know what they're talking about. Some don't, but usually don't last long in a company. If you have a common opinion in the company that comes pointing in one direction, all of them tell you that top management doesn't want to hear about it because it paints them in a bad light, you find information that nobody else knows. In essence, one of the top 2 questions you can ask any of your informers, legitimate question, is what do you know? What do you know in your heart of heart to be true of this company that you feel compelled to deny, and everybody else does too? Or what do you know in your inner heart to be wrong in this company, and yet you feel to compel to affirm, as does everybody else? If you get this sort of thing, you get information which is true, probably important, and exclusive, because few others talk about it. Read my book, The Sleuth Investor. You'll find many more such questions and techniques of how to get information which is true, important, and exclusive. You're going to find some other techniques. And what more you're going to get, as you're going to get in one of the next clips, is how to do people sleuthing, how to classify people into types, knowing in advance it's not going to give you all the essence of them, but still it's going to give you a big leg up on how to find who is telling the truth, who is probably lying, who is capable, who is not, and who you should probably go talk to again. On to the next clip, and until that time, subscribe to the channel, buy my book, and if you have any comments, put them down below so others can benefit from them too. See you in the next clip.